Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Talk podcast. Here we just free our mind. We say what we think, and we invite you to say what you think in the comment section. If you get value out of this video, subscribe, like, share, comment, do all the doables so that we can get it out there. So today we'll be talking about something that has definitely been in the news all over the world, not just in Nigeria. It's been all over the news, and that is the prickly issue of the coup in Niger. Seems that everybody is talking about this, even dragging space time with the Ukrainian war. So that's what we are going to be discussing today, and we hope you enjoy our discussion. If you have anything to add or to contribute, please do so. I've said it before. You don't have to agree with us. Just share what you think, and as much as you can, also give links to whatever facts that you could.
Like you said, free your mind. So just in the comment section, just do your thing. Well, talking about the whole situation with Nigeria, ECOWAS, Niger, and everything that's been said, it's the first thing that comes to my mind is wondering how a president will feel. You win an election, you get sworn in as the president of a country, and your first assignment is to go to war. It's looking like you might go into something like that. That's actually a very scary thing. Like, in my opinion, I feel like usually when you come into an office, you want to understand what's going on, that kind of thing, and then make plans. Or if you have a plan, you start executing. You don't just start from problem. You understand? So, and the second thing, to me, it seems very suspicious the way our president, the president of Nigeria, is like taking the whole thing personal. Like, it's it seems very dear to him. Like, because, okay, think about it. You went to, what's the name? You submitted an application or something to the Senate, telling them, oh, I need your approval to do something, or to do this. And they say, we are not giving it to you. But it's still making news. Like, you're still talking about it. That means you either have something to gain or something else. That's my thought.
It's just from a logistical point of view, or like, you have to appreciate the morale, like the confidence. So we have the Nigerian military that is already overstretched as it is, combating insecurity in basically everywhere, literally everywhere in the country. And you have the threat of the Boko Haram terrorist group wreaking havoc. Then you have unknown gunmen in the east and all these things, and those problems seem to be increasing, and you are not able to tackle those problems in your country where you don't really need to buy a long flight. But you're of the opinion that if you travel abroad and go to some other country and have this long supply chain, because you inevitably would need some sort of a supply chain, that you would win. I mean, you have to, whatever you think about what our president is doing or how he has been responding, you have to compliment his confidence, the morale, the balls to actively call for military intervention. Another thing is, okay, military intervention, now military enter, they slide in, film. What did they go do? No, I mean, sometimes if we are talking about military intervention, military intervention needs to have an objective, something you're going to accomplish.
The objective is not to put the president back in seat. I think that's what they do.
And do what?
That's the thing now. Because
so that means
a continuous war that will continue.
So that means Nigerian troops will forever be in Niger. It will not turn into Americans in Afghanistan and those other places.
I think what you say just makes sense. Because when the president is supposed to be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Now, if the armed forces are saying, Baba, we don't want you. If they don't fight, put you back there. Now, civilians will fight.
So it just, I don't know. They are. I feel like this thing concerns the elite more than it does the common person. I mean, the common person in Nigeria, obviously, it's very, very relevant to Nigerians. But the common person in Nigeria doesn't really bother us, I would say. I do know that Northerners, usually those that have, Nigeria has a long border with Niger. So those people will probably have familial relationships over the border. They share a similar culture, religion, and those kind of things. But accepting that, who cares, man? Guy, fuel is almost 720. And you're talking about going to war in Niger.
And that's a lot of money, like, because war is expensive, very, very expensive. And Nigeria is in a lot of debt. Like, the debt we are in, mad. Going to war now is basically doubling our debt, like multiplying it basically. Because they will spend money now.
They'll spend money now. All these small gari we should say and drink. Go war. All the food they see for market go enter fly go war. So it just does not. I don't know.
I want to ask, or let's say let's speak from the president's point of view. You know, since we're having a conversation, I've had this thought in my mind a couple of times, and I'm like, is he that what he's doing? Is he personal, or is he what he's supposed to? For instance, as you're a democratically elected president,
even though the issues in court.
Okay, yeah, that one will be talking about. But you're the democratically elected president, and there are other democratically elected presidents in an organization or in a body, and there are rules that govern that body. Now, in a situation where, and you're let's say I am the head of that organization, in a situation where force is used to remove one of those leaders, are you not supposed to do something like?
I see your. I mean, yes, I see your point. It's true, because there's a saying that an injury to one is an injury to all. So it makes sense from that point of view. So, but where I think an issue lies is, if you say you're a democratically elected president, then somebody comes and removes you, and the people are rejoicing. My brother, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
There is
there's a mistake.
Something went wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
So something that I have thought about is, what if all these protests in favor of the coup in Niger is like backed by the military, and maybe they are suppressing people who support the government. Maybe the people that support the government are more, but because the military is in power, the military is suppressing them, right? I thought about it, I'm like, who are the people on the receiving end of any negative consequences from this coup? It's France and the US. Let's just say the West.
Right?
And they are not, how would I put it? They are not exactly weak countries. If there were such protests, I believe that they will do everything possible to, even if it's CNN, Fox, to go and find those people and bring it up and say, these people are against this coup. But so far, even the major news mainstream network, I have not seen, maybe they have done such a report, but I've not seen a report where they said, oh, it seems like the majority of the people are in support of the ousted or current president. I don't know the legalities of it, of Basu, but no such thing has come forward, at least not that I've seen. So it's a sticky situation as far as I can tell.
Yeah. I wanted to point out something you said about, I think will I use the word founding fathers, but I don't think the creators of democracy as a form of government, or the what democracy as a form of government is supposed to be, is a government, like they say, for the people, by the people, for the people, and something.
Government for the people, government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Yeah, and when you get to a stage where the people are no longer feeling, because in thinking about it, the military is let me not say not your friend, but the military. I don't know if you get
The military is the military.
Yeah, the military is the military. Yeah, the civilian is a civilian. Like when it gets to the point where the people prefer to be governed by the military than governed by its democratically elected president, I think that there is a problem. That means that president, maybe he was elected by the people, but he's not doing what the people want. And so, and if you look in Africa right now, this is not the first. There are other coups that have happened.
Yeah, I think there are about 6 coups since 2020 in West Africa alone.
That is alarming.
I think about 6.
And I think coming back to to our president, I think there's a fear with ECOWAS. That's why they feel like we have to do something.
Yes.
Because if not, it becomes a normal thing. Like maybe tomorrow now they will do it in Ghana. Or I'm not saying anything like that. But
And funny enough, I heard I don't know which army officer said it or military officer said it, but came out and said that some people have met him. I'm a Nigerian military officer. Some people have met him talking about maybe a possible uprising by the military. He was like, no, it's never going to happen. This or that. And I just remember hearing that. I'm like, why? Like, why did this guy feel the need? Why did he feel the need to come and speak on this thing? Because he could have just kept quiet.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel yes. I completely agree with you that ECOWAS really cannot stay and watch this kind of thing happen, because it will not be like they are encouraging it.
Okay, I think So now, I think usually before something happens, there's always a reason why it happens. For the coup, we've addressed some reasons why the coup possibly could have happened in Niger. One of them being that the democratically elected leadership or whatever it was, the government was not doing what they were supposed to do.
They are not behaving democratically.
Good. Now, that's one part of it. Now, if you look deeper into it, you can also find out that there are, for instance, some time ago, they had this, after the military took over, they had this, well, I call it a rally at the stadium that was completely packed with supporters, like, of the military, of the coup, basically. And some of them were flying Russian flags and that kind of thing. Now, for me, I feel in all of these kind of things, there is usually an external influence on it. For instance, I've heard, I cannot state categorically, but I've heard that France has a large what's the word?
The last percent of their uranium comes from Niger.
Yeah.
So that one is fact. So that one is not. It's not argued by anybody now.
Wow. And I'm sure that probably, like you said, leaders have a lot to gain.
They have the most to gain and the most to lose.
So I think that's part of the reason why, like, the leaders are fighting to see that something is done about it, because they would have a lot to lose, maybe a lot of money, probably a lot of ties, business relationships will also be lost, because to me it does not really make sense when the people have said we don't want you people again. So
yeah, I was also thinking, I was going through, like, I was just scrolling the internet one day, and I saw an article by it's one German newspaper. I think it's the major German newspaper, where it was an article from 2021. I want to say 2021, so I'm going to say 2021. So in the article, it was talking about a pipeline being built from Nigeria to the wherever it is that to the northern part of Africa, then on to Europe, and that pipeline is to pass through. I think it's going to pass through Niger and it's going to pass through Algeria. And what I think is interesting is, from that article, the Algerians were opposed to the pipeline passing through the thing. So there was a whole big row. But now, during this scrutiny, Algeria is now backing Niger. You understand? When it was like that time, they were not agreeing, sort of. And so I can see where Nigeria has an interest of sorts, because with the coup now, they've basically closed down the country's borders for, it's not business as usual. It's a no-fly zone and all that thing. So that pipeline may not be a thing. Pipeline equates to money.
One other thing you just mentioned, war is, it's not a bad thing. It's a tool to solve a problem. Some of you will not agree with me, but honestly, that's my thought. Like, because okay, now the other thing is, in war, if you're not smart about it, if you're not thinking properly, you might end up doing things that shoot you in the leg when you think you're affecting the other person. For instance, there's a no-fly zone now in Niger. Also now, Nigeria has gone ahead to say they have cut off electricity supply to Niger. And I found out that Nigeria and Niger, because you know that the dam, there's a dam. We have a dam.
Yeah. Kainji Dam now, it's not that our major dam.
It flows from Niger down into Nigeria.
They will go block them there.
So there was basically an agreement between Nigeria and Niger saying, don't build a dam in Niger, we'll supply you electricity because we have a dam.
Yes.
Because if Niger builds a dam in Niger, the water will no longer come here. Now going on and saying we're not going to give you electricity is against the agreement, which is another wahala.
If they go and block that thing now,
problem. That's another problem. Like which comes down to, still boils down to a leader that looks to me like he has something to gain. Like it's a personal something.
Yeah, I've always been of the opinion that ECOWAS put all its cards on the table too fast.
Put what?
All its cards on the table.
Oh, okay.
It's like immediately the thing happened to bam, they have done this, they've done that, and all sanctions before actual talks. And it's like, when you have already done that, okay, to the government, to the military government, I've got what they call themselves, the council
junta
set up, and also to the people. You have become enemies now.
Yeah.
How would you want to come and talk with me? You don't off my light, you don't close my border, I don't get food, I don't get water, lights to see, I don't get, business is affected.
Yeah.
And then you now want to say you're coming for peace. Well, what sort of peace is that? And then you have the AU now, recently, about some days ago, kicked Niger out of the AU. It's like, what do you want to now say?
Yeah. Another thought just came to my mind about, there's this saying that when two elephants fight,
now the grass they suffer.
The grass suffers.
Yeah.
And I was, because a lot of people are thinking it's just, I don't know why. Generally, when people talk about it, it sounds like it's Nigeria and Niger, but it's actually supposed to be ECOWAS and Niger, right? Like ECOWAS is supposed to be trying to solve the problem.
Yes.
But because the president is taking it personally, it's not seeming like it's Nigeria.
I mean, Nigeria is by far the biggest power in ECOWAS.
Yeah.
It's like 60% of the ECOWAS budget or something.
So like now, we had some time ago, I heard of former military something, maybe an officer or something. He was being interviewed on one of the TV stations, and he said that in the situation of war, members of the National Youth Service Corps are reserve forces. And then during that period, like it trended, a lot of people made jokes out of it. Like people were like, "Oh, I'm selling my uniform for free. I'm giving it out at this price. Blah blah blah.
Come and take my allowance."
All this kind of thing. And you think about it. Normally, if it was in a place where people felt something was justified, people would be willing to lay down their lives for it. Like for instance, if you were in your home and somebody was coming to attack or steal your property, they wanted to take your land, you will fight for the land.
Yeah, obviously.
Like that kind of thing, because you feel this is justified. But the general population of both Nigeria and Niger feel that the whole situation is not just. It's unnecessary. It's completely.
Another thing. like change the topic small. So ECOWAS. So I think the ECOWAS could have invaded sooner if they had thought that the people would have been on their side.
But the people were never on their side.
No, at the beginning, I read that they were like protests and like small
protests against the coup.
And then like it took like 2 days, and everybody's like, wait a minute.
They realized.
And it speaks to neo-colonialism, because France basically takes about 50% of everything of value in Niger.
Not just Niger, like a lot of.
Yeah, we're talking of Niger in particular. So it speaks to that. I know anytime people hear coup, people are like, coup is a bad thing. The same way if people hear about this Russia invading Ukraine, it's like, invasion is a bad thing. I mean, yes, war. No, who prays for war? Like, just stay and be like, please. I mean, maybe some people do, but they're sociopaths. War is never a good thing. But what I've learned is that most times, the line that you are being fed by either side, in fact, is usually not what it is. There are always nuances and parts that are left unsaid. And the main problem I think our president is going to face is that Nigerians don't trust the government.
Yeah, especially.
The one principle, if the government says it, disbelieve it first. Then let's prove it is wrong or to prove it right. So it's the kind of feeling that Nigerians are, even if they cook up something now, which is possible, say they made it on, they keep plenty people, they'll be like, that one consign them. So that's just sad.
Yeah. Well, as Nigerians, I'm sure a lot of us are not praying that it will get to the point where they would actually start fighting. I mean, then maybe they start what they call it, draft.
For what we know concern us. I beg.
They will not start drafting people. They will say, if you're in SS, from SS this one to SS this one. Or
SS. In fact, if you get beer, anybody, thank God, say me, I don't shift. Like you, they just do my show man. They carry you.
I don't shave my own.
Yeah, they see beer, for you. See, it's nothing. So anybody will get beer, man or woman or.
For people who don't know it's in beer, it's not beer, you know. No matter with the blood for picture. But I just hope it does not get to that point, because we have bigger things to bother about. Like fuel is at 6 something. People are okay. Yesterday I watched the video. They caught this guy. It's an armed robbery crew. And one thing, I don't understand why you catch an armed robber and if I interview and you're covering his face like.
No. It's not an armed robber.
Okay,
it's an alleged.
Okay. But the guy don't confess now.
Yeah. They know they accept confession for capital crime.
No, that's by the way. So the guy was like, he covered his face with like a handkerchief or something, and they were asking the guy, like, what's up? Like, what's happened? Like, this guy you could hear from the way he was talking that this guy was not, like, he was not just a
hardened criminal.
No, he was not a hardened criminal. Like, they started asking him, what did you study? He studied accounting, and he mentioned the name of the school. He's a graduate. He has a wife. He just got married. He has one child. Why you can't do armed robbery? He said he was a boat driver. He was driving boat, and then after fuel prices went up, problem now started. No money now again, and his wife was pregnant or something like that. And then that led him. He had done the armed robbery 2 times. The second one they caught. Total money he had made 700,000.
Yeah, was it good?
So like, to be fair, and then you see the whole with the fuel subsidy, and then the government is saying they want to give out 8,000 naira with how many bags of rice.
There are more bags of rice still there.
There are more important things for us to be talking about than we are fighting war inside. There's Boko Haram, like you said,
and we are losing.
There's it's multiplying every day. Like, there's Boko Haram, there's unknown government, there's the whole ESN and or every other thing that is happening. So there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed in the country before we start thinking of
Going outside to solve other people's problems.
Because in my opinion, they used to say love start at home. Is it love at home or be love start at home?
Charity
Begins at home. You cannot. You want to go and solve another. You never fix. You know, like it's basically like being disrespectful to yourself. They will not see you like, look at this. Wait till they even talk. Self like, see you on our own place. Be like war zone already, and then you're now coming and you're trying to say, oh, we should. So, my thoughts though, you know.
Yeah, I've been thinking of like the West and how the West sees this thing, and they are concerned that Africa is increasingly looking to Russia and China. And
of course not.
And you have people in Nigeria, even in like mainstream media in Nigeria, who are, how will I put it, critical of Russia and China and heap praises on the West. And they say Russia wants to take over the world and this and that, and I'm like, Oga, which country has the most military bases in the world that's not in their country?
It's the US now.
It's the US. What has France done for its colonies?
Not milk them.
Still the same way, if not worse than they were how many years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, people should not be surprised that people want change.
Yeah.
Whatever the kind of change, people are now like, no, the present situation is not favoring us.
Let's try something.
New.
I don't care. We just
at least China will do the road. You know, at least Russia will do this. And so I don't know why people are. The time has come when Africans need to develop these systems that the Americans used to have, which is the Americans they used to believe in who best served their interests.
Yes.
They didn't care whether you were previously enemies, as long as you served American interests.
Yeah.
You be America's friend. So I think Africa needs to start thinking like that. It's not the days of loyalty because they were good before this one now. No, who is good to you now? Oh, this person is
that's your friend.
Follow that person. Who is doing you this? Follow that person. And but it's funny that we are going through these things in our country and somebody is even thinking about war. Who you send? Me?
No,
You?
definitely not.
Oh, I've forgotten. People that have beer.
No, I know they go. Let them go. Well, guys, thank you for listening to us and watching us today. We hope you had an opinion first of all, and we hope you will be able to free your mind in the comment section and maybe tell us your thoughts and your opinion on what you've heard. By the way, the things we've said are our opinions. We're not speaking for the country. We're not speaking for the president. We're sharing our opinions, and we feel you can also do the same thing in the comment section. So please like, share, and we look forward to seeing you same time next week. Have a great time.